Oh, you want to go out? Somebody wants to go out. Yeah. You're so hyper. Start calling you ADD doggy. Hyper. Have fun. I gotta do something. Alright. She's running around the house like ripping it up. Alright, here we go. What do we got? We got Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Works for me. Any rate, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, this is what we're doing. We're gonna make some cream beef. I'm not eating it today. I'm gonna make it for tomorrow, right? I got bigger plans today. Hint. Okay. So at any rate, let's make some cream beef. So I got all my ingredients ready, which is always the first thing that you should do, right? You should always get your ingredients ready. What do we have here? Cheesecake cooling off. Okay, don't get distracted. So you should always have your ingredients ready. I got my flour over here in a nice dry place. So, when I did that, I got the sifter out, put the right amount through the sifter, sifted into a bowl, and threw the chunks away because I don't want no chunky cream beef. We're not having that. So that's what that's about. Put that in here because we got to wash it. Any rate, I'm going to make a double batch. So what are you talking about, Ayase? Well, I'm making a double batch for tomorrow. Reason I'm making a double batch is because people like it, and we'll probably go through a single batch, no problem. So let's talk about the single batch. So the single batch is going to be half a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons of butter, 2.5 cups of milk, which obvious 2.5 cups, right? And 4 tablespoons of flour, sifted. I'm going to say sifted. We don't want chunky cream beef. So double that, right? And then usually you get the packets in the store. They're like 4 ounces, maybe 3 ounces. I like a little extra beef, so I went with a half a pound of meat. So that's the double. I got this from the Amish farmer's market. Fresh, ready to go. Nice. I might break it up a little bit when I put it in, but it's ready to go. So that's a little bit more than a half pound. It's probably 9 ounces or so. So we're good. It's going to be beefy. So we got our whole stick of butter. I learned through experience that 2.5 is 5, of course. But I learned through experience that 5 cups is to the top of the P on a Pyrex 4-cup pitcher, right? And then I got my 8 tablespoons of flour in my stainless bowl so it comes out clean. Nice dry spot over there until I'm ready for it. So hey, let's get it going. So first I'm going to turn it on, obviously. Let my butter melt. Right? I like to pull out the cooking chopsticks. Just give it a little help. Right? We'll melt that down. Still melting a little bit. While that's melting, it's the meat. I mean, I don't really want to be eating cream beef that's got pieces this big in it, so I'm going to chop it up a little bit. I don't think I ever mentioned, like, when I'm making a video like this, but the first thing you want to do is wash your hands, right? So that's important, very important. So, but at any rate, I'm going to chop this up a little. Got the old ceramic knife. Danger, Will Robinson. This stuff will cut right through your nail, okay? You'll hear a little crunch, and probably won't hurt a real lot, but it's going to be a pain in the ass for a couple weeks. I don't want to go crazy, but I want to make stuff bite size. Try as hard as you can not to let this ceramic blade come in contact with any part of your body, because this thing is not messing around. It will cut right through you. My wife uses it like it's nothing. I got to be careful, because I've been known to take a piece of skin off, or one time actually took a piece of a nail off, and that was kind of scary. When it happened, it was like crunch, and I was like, uh-oh, something bad just happened. So best bet is just keep your digits away from it, right? I think we're doing pretty good. Like I said, we won't go crazy. I'm not going to mince it. I'm not going to be but we'll get it so that there's reasonably small enough pieces. And you're going to notice right off the bat, right? Like when you look at this, they gave me a ½ pound of dry beef, the Amish market. But I'm telling you right now, this is a lot fluffier than what you get in those 4-ounce packages. So I'm really looking forward to how this comes out. What kind of meat you use and what kind of milk you use, but mostly the meat really makes a difference in how your cream beef comes out, right? All right, so all of our butter's melted. Let's get it in there. I like to use one of these big pans. Might call it a wok or whatever you want, or pot or whatever. Wok pot, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's really good for getting the meat ready before you cream it up. I'll wash the board a little later. First thing I'll do is I'm not going to turn it up too high. I'll just mix it all in. Get butter on everything. Dealing with a little bit more of fluffed out meat than you'll, like I said, than you'll usually get in those 2 packages of Nals or Haberset or whatever brand it is that you buy. I could recommend one over the other, and I would actually, but that's not what this is about. So let's make this up. Mixing it all up. It's looking pretty good. You'll notice I got some seasonings over here. I'm not going to really mess with that too much until I get the milk in there. So now, this is going to be personal preference part. How you want, how crispy you want your meat to be. I mean, basically, this stuff's pretty much already cooked or cured or whatever. So you could eat it raw, or what looks like raw. You can eat it right the way it is right now. So if you don't want to, you could just go right to the next step. Put your flour in, mix up real good, and then add your milk. But I'm going to crank up the heat just a little bit and sear it just a tiny bit, just because I like the texture that it creates. So I'm going to crank it up a little, just a little, maybe medium. Get that cooking. Get that heating up a little. Take a little break. You'll hear it. You'll definitely hear it start sizzling a little, right? I don't know if you can hear that. If you're in a quiet enough room and you got your volume up, you should be able to hear that. But yeah, once it starts sizzling, let's just make sure we're moving it around. I might have chopped it up a little bit more than I wanted to. But like I say, that's how small the meat becomes is personal preference anyway. So main thing is the taste, right? I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I get it to the point where I think it's a little bit, not crispy, but, you know, a little bit seared. All right, getting a little steamy, then mixing it around, getting a little bit more texture to everything. All right, let's get the flour from our dry spot. And like I say, it's real important that you keep the flour dry because you don't want to have chunks in your cream beef. And then as you're putting it in, you might want to pull it off to the side a little, right? Not right on it. It's going to get mixed in with the butter and meat soon enough. Don't need to rush it. Just keep mixing it. Trying to avoid clumps. You could probably just dump it in there and go with it. But I prefer to mix it. Put a little bit more. Mix it. Put a little bit more. Put a little bit more. Mix it. Right. Kind of like you're dissolving it all before you put the milk in. And if you didn't already figure it out, this is how you would make a white sauce or add some more cream to any kind of soup you're making or whatever. Flour and milk. Not going to have a real lot of taste to it, but butter, flour, and milk. And then you put whatever spices you want. You got white cream. Right. So you can see it's pretty much all mixed up. There's no more flour showing anywhere or chunks. I'm going to go ahead and put the milk in. This thing's all the way up to the pea, so careful. There we go. All right. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the sizzling is gone. So now I'm going to say that your main responsibility is to make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom. And this is part of the reason I like to use the wok type pot with the Teflon coating on the bottom, because it's going to keep you from sticking to the bottom. You don't want to stick to the bottom, you're going to burn stuff, right? Our main thing here is we want to, now that all the meat is floured up, we want to constantly separate it so it's not actually sticking together with the flour. Because basically the flour might as well be glue in some aspect. So we're not trying to glue meat together. We want it to be separate. All right. Yep. You're worried about the meat getting a little tinier? Yeah, it's probably going to happen because I'm trying to keep stirring it. But if you're worried about that, then I guess just don't cut it up as much. Basically, we just want to make sure that the meat is not sticking together. So now I don't have to do this the whole time, but I'll turn it up. Once it boils, I can turn it down, just keep it on low, and it'll thicken up, right? You might not think so, but this is actually going to start bubbling at some point. And then we'll mix it some more and turn it down. Okay? While we're waiting for that, might be time for another Miller time. We interrupt this broadcast for a special ad from our sponsor, known as water. Make sure you're drinking some water between those beers there, or you will be sorry. You can see it. See the little bubbles forming? You gotta go crazy, but just make sure it's not sticking to the bottom when you see that. You don't have to constantly stir it, but I would stay in the kitchen. Don't go anywhere. And wait for that to happen. It's going to happen again and again. Alright. I've seen bubbles a couple times now and stirred it accordingly. This might be a good time where you decide what you want to put in, right? So generally I just stick with salt and pepper. You're not going to need a lot of salt, obviously, because there's already butter in there, and the dry beef is salty as well. But we do like some pepper, personally, here at the house. So I would say, like, this is on you, right? You're experimenting, but basically count how many times you do your little twist, and your pepper shaker may not be the same as mine. It may not be adjusted the same. So I would say do keep track of how it is and how many times you're twisting it, because if you don't like it, you can go less or more next time, right? I mean, you could always do it to the food while you're eating it, but when you're making it, you may want to figure out how much you like in the long run. So I lost count already, but that's fine because I like it no matter what. In fact, I like cream beef so well that when I go to a restaurant for any kind of breakfast meal, sometimes I'm tempted to just try their cream beef and see how they make it. But yeah, some places are just run of the mill, been sitting there. I went to one place, actually, their cream beef tasted like cream of chicken soup, and maybe it was, but whatever. Some places are good, some places are different, and like I said, it depends highly on the meat that you're using. So every one you eat is going to be different. I'm going to go with that for now. I can always add more later. I might add a little bit of salt. What I'll do is test it. I'll taste it right from the chopsticks, and then just rinse them off before I go stirring again. All right, now we're getting a really good bubble. So I'm just going to slowly keep it moving I might let it bubble another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to put it on low heat, and it's going to thicken up. It may seem like, oh, it's drippy, it's never really going to get thick, but once you turn the heat down and just leave it alone, it will get thicker, right? Once you're done, you'll want to put the lid on to keep dirt and stuff out, but especially you turn it off and you're waiting on people, you might want to reheat it or whatever, you'll put the lid on. But while you're cooking it, even though it's on low, I would say just keep the lid off, let the moisture come out, and it will actually get thicker. Once you get it to the thickness you want, you put the lid on. You won't lose any more moisture, right? Yeah, it's tasting pretty good. At the point now, I'm pretty happy with the taste. If I change my mind, I can always add salt or pepper or whatever else I want later on. I think I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to a more manageable pot that I can actually put in the refrigerator once it cools down, and then we'll use it tomorrow. Like I said, you can make this the day of, but I like to make it the day before because it's one of those things, like lasagna or chili or whatever, that kind of stuff there's certain things that are better the next go around, and this is one of them. You let it firm up a little and store it in the fridge, and then you break it back out. It's even better than when it was made fresh. So I might have underestimated a little bit on the size pot I wanted to transfer it to, but it's all good. I'll just be careful. But yeah. I think I'm about ready to put it on low and just let it firm up even more, and then I'll turn it off and cool down. So there we go. I got it down as low as I can without letting the flame go out. Another little trick I do sometimes is I will take another burner grate and stick it underneath. Kind of crisscrossed with the other one, and puts the heat a little further away, so I can get a little bit of a lower setting without turning it any lower, because if I turn it any lower, it's going to go off and I'll just be filling the kitchen with gas, and we don't want that. Alright, so I think I'll just go like this, put that on there a little bit, and we should be good. It's going to firm up nice. It's a nice big pot of cream beef for tomorrow and days beyond. As long as you keep it refrigerated when you're not using it, I could stick the whole pot in the fridge, right? So as long as you're keeping it in the refrigerator when you're not using it, shouldn't be a problem. You could probably eat that for days after. I wouldn't keep it for weeks, but it's not going to last that long anyway. People are going to eat it up. So hey, until next time, give me a thumbs up. Like it if you subscribe. Subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you next time.